Hi everyone, really good news. My wife's 10-year green card got approved just today. This is regarding the I-751 petition to remove conditions on residence. So basically your 10-year green card. So I filed the paperwork on September 18, 2019. Today is September 22, 2020. Got the email today, this morning, super excited. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to prepare your application so you can get approved. All right? I'm going to keep this video as simple as possible. What I'm going to do is direct you to where you're going to find your application form. So you're just going to go into the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services website. You can just Google I751 form, and it'll be the first thing that pops up. Because of course that's what you're going to need. You're going to need that application to submit. To remove the conditions to go from your 2-year green card to 10-year green card. That's what we did. Okay, I petitioned Christine under the K1 visa, fiance visa. After we got married, we applied for her 2-year green card, adjustment of status, and then after 2 years, her green card expired December 14th, 2019. So I applied in September because you have to apply within 90 days of the expiration. Right? So I applied. They sent you, once they receive it, they send you a letter, an extension letter. Okay? Her extension letter was good for 18 months while they're processing her application. It used to be only 12 months. But with the backlog and everything, especially now with the pandemic, well, this is before the pandemic hit anyway, but anyway, because of the backlog and number of applications and stuff like that, they increased it from 12 months to 18 months for the extension letter. Okay, if you have the website pulled up, the immigration website pulled up for Form I-751, if you scroll down, you can see forms and documents downloads. Of course, you're going to download the application itself. There is a download for instructions how to fill it out. It's pretty self-explanatory. I won't go over each individual spot on the form because it's based off if you have kids, if you have a sponsor or whatever. If you have questions, please leave a comment and I'll do the research and give you back an answer. But I'm going to try to keep this video as simple as possible. If you keep scrolling down underneath the application itself, you can see there's edition dates. You want to make sure you have the right edition. If you click on that arrow there, it says that the current edition is dated 12/2/2019. Of course, we filed in September, so ours didn't match that date. Below the edition date is where to file. It depends on where you live. So we live in Washington. I think I had to file the application in Phoenix, Arizona lockbox, and then they forwarded it to the necessary service center, which ours was Nebraska. Okay, so underneath where to file, there's the filing fee. So it was $595, the application itself, and then you have to add on the $85 biometrics fee. So my wife had to, so we filed in September, got the extension letter about a week later or whatever, and then her biometrics, her fingerprints and photo was done in January 2020. And we haven't heard anything since then until today. I kept checking the case status online every day, and it just kept saying your application was received. That's what it said. It never changed to a biometrics letter was mailed out or whatever. I was checking the mail one day and I got a surprise. What is this? Oh, she had to do her biometrics. Now, I'll tell you, my wife was in the Philippines studying. She was doing 1 year clinical pharmacy because she's going to become a pharmacist here. So she left June 2019, and she had been gone this whole time. And the law is that you cannot be out of the country for more than 6 months. So we planned it. So she started school June 2019. She flew in November, within 6 months or whatever. I don't remember. And then she flew back. And then we got a letter in January that she had to do her biometrics. I had to pay for her plane ticket for her to emergency fly back. I'm so glad that it worked out with her school schedule and everything because it just worked out perfectly. So she flew, did her biometrics, and flew back. She graduated in the Philippines, and then she flew back the end of June. Still within 18 months, still within 6 months, so we're good. She's been back ever since. We were just waiting for the approval, and we got the approval today. So enough of that. So that's the application's $595. Biometric is $85. So if you do the math, I'm gonna do the math right now because I can't do mental math. Pull up my calculator here. Oh, it's not loading. Okay. Sorry. Why is it so slow? Okay, there we go. So 595 plus, what was it? 85? Okay, $680 is how much you'll pay for the entire application. So you can do a check or money order, cashier check, however, you can't say cash. I think you can submit your card information, but it was just easier for me to write a check. All right, and below the filing fee, you have the checklist of required initial evidence for informational purposes only. Let's see. Please do not submit this checklist. Just go ahead and read over that. So basically, it lists what the immigration center has expected you to submit with your application. This is your evidence right here. This is where you prove to the immigration officer to the United States of America that your relationship is legit. You need to prove to them that whoever is coming from abroad to the U.S. is, with good faith. All right. So I clicked on it. If you are filing joint petition, did you provide the following? You have copies front and back of your permanent resident card. So I made copies. I scanned her front of her green card and the back of her green card. Okay, and they want copies of the permanent recards. If you have any children, you're going to just do that for their card too. We don't have any kids. She didn't have any kids prior. So we didn't need that. And the evidence of relationship, as you can see, it said submit copies of documents indicating the marriage upon which you were granted status was entered in good faith, remember, and was not for the purpose of circumventing immigration laws. So basically, you're not getting married just to come to the U.S., become a citizen, then divorce or whatever. This is a legit relationship. You're in love with each other. You want to stay together. Oh, my wife is calling me. Hold on real quick. Okay, where were we? Just got off the phone with Christine, who were just talking about her green card. But anyway. Was not for the purpose of circumventing immigration laws. Talked about that. Submit copies of as many documents as you can to establish this fact, to demonstrate the circumstances of the relationship from the date of marriage to the present date. So what that means is that you need to submit documents within the 2 years that you guys were married. So Christina and I got married January 28, 2017. So from that time to 3 months before the green card expires, you need to submit 2 years worth of documentation. That's what I did. I submit our tax documents for the last 2 years, our income tax or whatever. Photos. That's 2 years worth of photos. We don't have, okay, put this out there. A lot of people have this impression that you need to have joint bank accounts. You do not have to have joint bank accounts. Christine and I do not have joint bank accounts. I am Bank of America. She's Wells Fargo. We don't have joint bank accounts, so we didn't submit any bank statements. Okay. We have an apartment together. Both our names are on it, so we submitted, examples of bills and stuff like that. Our names with the apartments and everything. So I'll go over that more in detail later. I'm just going to keep reading this list, okay? If you could follow along. So after that, an explanation for the reason why you're filing late. So if you need to file late for whatever reason after it expired or whatever, 'cause it's going to be harder if you wait till it expires or if it gets closer. Just write them a letter. An explanation for the reason you are filing separately from your primary conditional permanent resident parent. What does that mean? Does that mean if you're 17 when you got your green card and you became 18, you're an adult now? I'm not sure what that means. Or does that mean, like, if you're no longer with the person you married, you got to explain why, like, if you got divorced or whatever, you just submit your divorce documentation and proof that you got married in good faith and it just ended, unfortunately, badly. Dispositions of criminal charges, arrests, or convictions. If you get charged with a crime, I don't know how. Explain your part of the story, I guess, what documentation's there. If you are filing from outside of the United States because you, your spouse, or your step-parents is residing outside of the U.S. on U.S. military orders. So if you or a family member military, that's pretty straightforward. Make sure you submit 2 passport-size photographs for each petitioner and the dependent regardless of age. So in this case, we only had to submit 2 photographs for Christine. Again, we don't have any kids, we don't have the dependents, so that was easy. 2 completed Form FD259 fingerprint cards for each petitioner dependent. We didn't have to do that. So this is updated. Wow. I have no idea what it is. I apologize. I can do, if you want me to do the research for you, just leave a comment. I'll do it, or just Google it yourself. All this information that I found to get approved, I just Googled, okay? I just suggest you do the same. Then a copy of current military or government order. So that's not, doesn't apply to this. Okay. And then you just go down the list. If this is specific to your case. So the next one is, if you are filing an individual request because of the death of the petitioning spouse or specified events, did you provide the following? So that doesn't apply to me. Just go ahead and read through that. If you're filing a waiver of the joint filling requirements, yada yada. Okay. So it's pretty much straightforward. These other exemptions and whatnot. I'm going to scroll down to special instructions. E-notification, you just fill out that form and submit it to them. Now, I'll tell you, I didn't fill this form out when I submitted Christine's application. What I did was I created an account on the USCIS website. What you can do is you can Google USCIS case status. It'll take you to the website and you create a login. And once you have it pulled up, it's going to ask you to put in like a receipt number. Once this gets established, when you get your, your letter in the mail that they received your application, you can input that receipt number and it'll attach it to your account. And then you scroll to the bottom, there's an option to get emailed notifications or text message. So I didn't need to submit this form G1145. I just did that online. And then there's related links. Okay, so that's it for the website. I'm going to go in more details of what I actually submitted. You can copy me, make some adjustments on your own. Okay, hold on one second. All right. Unfortunately, I can't find my cover letter, but I'm just going to list what I can remember I submitted. So basically, you want front and back copies of the resident card, of the person's green card. Okay. I remember making copies of both our driver's license front and back. I photocopied Christine's driver's license and my driver's license. I did it to show proof that we have the same last name. She changed her last name to Dwyer. So that's proof of a legit marriage right there. Also, proof that we live in the same address, right? The address is going to be on the driver's license. I also submitted copies of our passports, both our passports. She had her name changed. She has a Philippine passport, okay? We had to attend a special outreach program where representatives from the embassy from California we live in Washington. They came to Washington. I had to take a day off for us to go there because she submitted an application for a new Philippine passport to renew her passport with her married last name. So it's updated. Okay. So copies of the passport with the same last name. Also copies of stamps if you guys went on vacations or anywhere. If you can prove that you guys went to vacation together, all the better. What else? I submitted documents for the past 2 years, 2018, 2017, with our names, showing that we filed jointly, okay? I submitted, what else? Basically anything you can think of that can prove a legit relationship. I submitted a lot of bills with both our names, like I said earlier. We have an apartment together. The apartment is in both our names, so I submitted multiple pay stubs for the rent statement. So every time I pay rent at my landlady, every month they have basically the bill. Whenever I pay, I have to pay using a check. She gives me a copy of it. So I just submitted months of those. I didn't submit 12 of them. I just submitted a bunch of them. Some from 2017, some to the 18, showing, or 2019 or whatever, showing that we still lived in the same residence at the same name, whatever. Our rent includes the apartment, water, sewer, and garbage. So that's how many bills right there with our same names on them, okay? I submitted copies of our cell phone bill with both our names. showing that we both have cell phones, that I have Verizon, so I just submitted proof that we're still paying off the cell phones that we have. Okay. What else? Photos. I can't stress enough. You can put as many. I submitted 30 photos. Remember, I'm the one who submitted. I put the application together. My wife didn't have to do anything but sign it. I did everything else. That's why I'm the one making the video. Kidding now. It's a lot of photos. It's 2 years worth of photos. Okay. They want to see photos of the petitioner, the alien, the foreigner, with other people, not just with, yeah, you're going to submit vacation photos of you spending time on vacation or whatever, but it looks good if they see them with your family or with friends, right? I can back it up. So I had a lot of 2 years worth of photos developed. I just went to Walgreens. I don't remember, like, there's so many cents per photo, right? And in the photo, what I did was each photo, I just got printer paper, white printer, 8 by whatever printer paper. And I just put photos, so many photos on each paper. And then underneath, I would write who was in the photo, where was it taken, and what year it was taken. Yeah, just basically description of the photo. So about 30 photos of those. Christine and I went on vacation, holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas and stuff like that, birthdays. So photos, definitely important. What else did I submit? Christine and I love going to the movie theater, especially with the pandemic going on. We haven't been to a movie theater, but in the past 2 years, every month we used to go to the movie theater. So I had copies of our movie ticket pay stubs. So a lot of movie tickets you can buy online. So I had to save those because I knew I had to submit the application. So if you have that, or if you have the actual pay stub lying around, if you have two, then just submit it with that. I had the electronic form, so I just printed out so many each month, each year. Okay, that's legit, basically proof of dating, a date. What else? I did copies front and back of our Costco membership cards, right? That's got our names on them. It's got pictures of us. Emerald Queen, we live in Washington. We have casinos here, Emerald Queen Casino. In order to play at their casino, you have to get their membership card. So I just made copies of those. I submitted copies of concert tickets. Christine and I, we saw Blake Shelton, Ed Sheeran, Adam Levine, and Maroon 5. I just submitted copies of those, with seats together. Christine and I took a vacation to Disneyland in California. So I had submitted, copies of our Disneyland park tickets, the hotel rooms, the plane tickets flying from Washington to California. I submitted that. We took a tour from San Diego to Los Angeles, so I submitted copies of that. Any vacation trips and stuff like that, submit copies of those. Christine and I took vacation to the Philippines. I submitted copies of our tickets. Excuse me. That's pretty legit right there. Submitted copies of not only back to the photos again, I submitted copies of her and with my family, and then photos of me and her family, right? Within 2 years. Prove it's legit. That I actually met her family. I'm in with good standings. That looks good to you, or looks good on you. What else is submit? Like I said earlier, you don't need bank statements. So I'm not going to stress too much on that. We don't have a joint bank account, and it's not, obviously it's not, I'm telling you right now, it's not required because we got approved without a joint bank account. I joined some Facebook groups on the I751 removing conditions, and a lot of posts about how many months back do we need to submit our bank statements, and I keep telling him it's not required, but they don't want to believe me. Whatever, that's them if they want to add work. What else? We went to the zoo, so copies of those. I'm trying to think. That's pretty much. Wedding ring. I submitted a receipt of my purchase of our wedding rings, our engagement rings, and that I was still paying it off. I went through K Jewelers, so I just printed out how much I had left on that. I already talked about the cell phone. Oh, I bought a laptop for her for Christmas because she was going to, remember, she was going to study in the Philippines. She needed a school laptop. So I bought it through eBay. I got a credit card through PayPal because it's 6 months no interest. So I submitted receipt of the laptop that I purchased it, and then I submitted my credit card bill for the PayPal that I was paying it off. proving that I did purchase it on her behalf and whatnot. Let's see, what else? I bought her, as an anniversary gift, I bought her a necklace that had our birthstones with our names on it. Oh, it was really cool. So, proof of that, right? You know, small things like that. And every little thing will count. Now, I'm not telling you to submit a huge binder. Mine was a folder about that thick. It's not a lot, because if you already proved that your relationship was legit for the 2-year green card, you're just submitting updated stuff for 10 years. So you have to submit. I submitted a lot more for the 2 years, and even more with the the K1 visa. But I'll talk more with that when I make videos on those. I'm trying to remember, but that's pretty much. I think I covered everything. It's very simple. I know you guys can do it. I did. I've been doing this for how many years now? 3. Christine came in 2016. So, of course, they had to approve her K1 visa then. So this is what, 4 years? Going on 4 years we've been on this journey. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Leave a comment. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. This is experience, coming from experience. I can tell you what I did, what I suggest you do. Don't be shy, and good luck to you guys. Bye-bye. Hey, everyone. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out the other content on this channel and show your support by leaving a like, comment, and subscribe. Maraming salamat!